What race are Iranian people? Over 50% of Iranians are of Persian descent. But Iran is a multi-ethnic society with sizable populations of Arabs, Kurds, and other Central Asians. I'm Persian and we check the Caucasian box in applications in America. There are a few ways you could take this. 1. Race is a nonsense term scientifically speaking. There is simply no such thing. 2. Culturally, Persian identity is one of the oldest continuous great traditions of humanity. It has had at various times significant cultural exchange with Greek, Roman, Central Asian, Caucasian, and especially Arabic and Indian traditions, but stands on its own as a great center of human civilization. 3. Ethnolinguistically, Iranian is a branch of the Indo-Iranian language family, which makes them part of the Indo-European family of languages, and partial genetic descent, stretching from Portugal to Bangladesh. 4. By the outmoded race science of Victorian dolts in top hats and extravagant beards, Iranians would be considered Caucasian. But that doesn't mean anything other than some guys who thought racism was genuinely a good idea also believed they were attractive. So feel free to disregard that nonsense, with the very important caveat that the very term Aryan is a reference to the exact same ancient people from which the term Iran derives. So, if you're going to be calling some people Aryans, you really do need to be including the OGs. 5. In current geopolitical cultural currents, Iranians are part of the Greater Middle East, which was a major area of traditional political interest for various Persian and Persian-influenced kingdoms and empires. 6. Iran is a multicultural and multi-ethnic society, so any answer is reductionist at best. I am discouraged that the commentariat will ever thoroughly understand this. But the idea that there exists in this world any finite number of discrete, coherent races of humanity is incorrect. It does not reflect the reality of human genetics. Its continued propagation is a problem that needs addressing. We can speak of populations when we want to discuss inherited genetic traits. We can speak of ethnicity when we want to discuss the continuity of group identity. We can speak of cultural, linguistic groupings when we want to discuss culture and language. All of these are things that are real. The only thing race adds to the conversation is to introduce additional imaginary lines that cut across more natural ones, hard boundaries instead of the gradual changes that exist in the real world. Iranians are Iranians. Multiple ethnic groups reside in Iran. Depending on who you ask, they might all be considered members of a single race, or they might all be members of different races. There's no good answer based on race. Well, I will point out that Iranian just means someone who lives in Iran. So that could mean anybody of any race or ethnicity. However, I do understand what you're trying to ask. While how people describe race and/or ethnicity and who treats which descriptors as a race and which as an ethnicity can vary, most people refer to the predominant race, ethnicity of the people in that area as Middle Eastern or Persian. Persians are an Indo-European people, like Germanic people, Hellenic people etc. But there are also Semitic, Turkic and other influences. Since there are no stupid questions in our No Stupid Question, I will say, it depends. Iran's current geopolitical borders encompass many races, ethnic groups, or whatever grouping mean by the overloaded term of race. If you are serious about learning about Iranian people, I would consider looking at the Iranian DNA Project. Many of the answers in this thread point to similar answers in that project but are backed by DNA data. Persian basically. They're definitely a good-looking group of people. Human race. If you want ethnicity, it's Iranian. Culturally they are probably Persian like their ancestors. A lot of people answer Persian to this question. However, the question was about race. In the traditional sense of the term, the Iranian population is mainly of Caucasian race, which includes Persian and Arab ethnicity amongst others. For context, I'm not American. Maybe race means more like ethnicity or cultural heritage in America. Edit. Goes to show just how archaic and unnecessary the whole race discussion is in my opinion. Caucasian. Did you know Iran means Aryan? That's where the word comes from. Grin anyways, most are Persian. Iran equals land of the Aryans. Aryan. Name originally given to a people who were said to speak an archaic Indo-European language and who were thought to have settled in prehistoric times in ancient Iran and the northern Indian subcontinent. Iran is multi-ethnic, but its historic and dominant ethnicity is Persian. Persians refer to themselves as Aryans. The word Iran means Aryan. Aryan people range from Iran to Bengal and have varied cultures and religious beliefs. They speak variants of Indo-European languages of the Aryan branch. There are many controversial narratives about the Aryans' role in prehistory and the Nazi philosophies of white supremacy conflated light skin and blonde hair with being prototypical Aryan characteristics. In reality, modern-day Aryans are a mix of different groups that have migrated through the modern countries of Central and South Asia. Race is a social construct, and society differs based on location. It doesn't truly exist, meaning that the same picture of the same person may be considered a different race depending on the viewer. Simply put, race is in the eye of the beholder. Also, there are very many ethnic backgrounds, so 10 pictures of 10 Iranians will not all be the same race. Homo sapiens sapiens. Caucasian. I know this, as I went on a date a few years ago with an Iranian-Canadian woman. The fact that Iranians are Caucasian was one of the first things she told me, and it seemed so important to her. I found that a little odd, as I don't care if she's Caucasian, Arab, black, brown, whatever. It didn't matter to me. It seemed like she is either insecure or a racist. So important to her that her dates know she is Caucasian. Human. Keshim Island Grand Prix. Persian mostly, but other ethnicities are present.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.